At 21, I began working for a company that promised me the title of head interior designer. Eager to achieve this, I dedicated myself entirely to the job. From the start, they pushed my boundaries, often making me work weekends to cover for colleagues with children, as retail hours were long and demanding. The real trouble began in 2020, during the COVID-19 pandemic. My now husband was involved in a motorcycle accident, and when I rushed to the hospital, my boss was furious. She questioned why he hadn't taken an Uber if he couldn't drive and accused me of being selfish for being there, claiming I was endangering everyone, especially the parents I had been covering for without any extra pay. Just a day before payday during the first lockdown, they called to say they couldn't pay salaries, leaving us without income for 6 months. Despite this, I continued working from home without any compensation. My husband and I struggled, using his salary for gas money so I could visit clients, as the company couldn't afford it. Even as the company started doing well, they continued to blame COVID for the lack of pay. 2 months before I resigned, I fell ill over a weekend, but still worked through it to avoid inconveniencing my colleagues. I informed my boss on Saturday that I wasn't feeling well and would see a doctor on Monday. During a Teams meeting that Monday, she asked everyone to leave the call and questioned if it was really necessary for me to see a doctor, as she needed me at work. I insisted on going, and the doctor recommended emergency surgery. Shocked, I asked to postpone it to the following week to prepare my work for my colleagues. My boss was upset, saying that if I hadn't gone to the doctor, I wouldn't need surgery. I worked through the pain, preparing everything before my sick leave. After the surgery, I woke up in the recovery room to find 21 missed calls from my boss. Panicked, I called her back, and she remarked that I didn't sound like I had just had surgery. She then asked when I would be out of the hospital and if I would be back at work on Thursday. I told her I would let her know what the doctor said. The doctor booked me off for 6 weeks, but after just 2 weeks, my boss insisted I return to work. I went back, cutting my sick leave short, and she flew down to my branch. Unable to take my prescription pain medication because I had to drive and work on client quotations, I was in severe pain every day. She had the audacity to tell me I looked sick and lacked energy. Ignoring her, I continued working. She then informed me that I would not have any off days, despite calling me from 6 a.m. to 10 p.m. daily for non-urgent work. Despite the salary cuts, I had to endure the hardships as we were slowly getting back on our feet. However, the final straw came with a coworker who frequently complained of stomach pains. She often lied to everyone, and through mutual friends, I saw her Facebook posts showing her drinking and partying when she claimed to be sick. On my birthday, my coworkers organized a small celebration with cake and balloons. Our boss, watching us through the cameras like we were on a reality show, called to say we weren't allowed to eat together and that everyone should take turns having a piece of cake. That same day, my coworker pulled her usual trick, claiming she wasn't feeling well due to her stomach issues. My boss excused her and then called me to work a double shift to cover for her. I was furious. It was my birthday, and I was supposed to finish work at 5 p.m. I hadn't had any time off because my boss felt I owed the company for the time I was sick. Instead, I had to work until 8 p.m. during the skeleton staff shift to comply with the center's operating hours. I sat in a dark showroom because the company was too cheap to provide a generator, and in South Africa, we have load shedding, which means sitting without power for 1 to 4 hours. I called my husband, who told me I could resign. When I handed in my resignation, my boss was shocked and never saw it coming. After leaving the company, I never looked back. A few months ago, I received a phone call informing me that the company was closing down due to mismanagement. The money made during COVID had been used for personal expenses, and the suppliers were never paid, leaving the bank to take over. I couldn't help but giggle, feeling that it was karma for all the bad things my boss had done to her staff. So, am I the asshole for feeling happy that they lost everything?